Yo, Chopped Up Reads here. I ain't gonna take too much of your time with this intro, but I wanted to say thanks for stopping by the full video, thanks for checking it out, and by the end of the video, if you liked what you listened to, if you liked the story and my reaction to it, if you don't mind, man, go down below, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and leave a comment so that the algorithm realizes that people like this video and keeps recommending it. We're on our way to 100 subscribers, and I'd really appreciate it if you help me get there. But with all that being said, let's get into this story because I found it really funny. Today I fucked up by throwing my steak out a window. So last night, my wife's boss from her brand new job invited us over for dinner. On the drive over, my wife reiterated many times to me that it's really important that I make a good first impression. I scoffed and arrogantly informed my silly wife that I always make good impressions. It does not sound like he does. My wife's boss is a single lady in her 50s, so it was just the three of us. We chit-chatted over drinks and salads and seemed to really be hitting it off. She laughed at my well-timed, perfectly appropriate jokes, and my wife seemed pleased. I don't know, when you say your joke is well-timed and perfectly appropriate, it does not feel well-timed or perfectly appropriate. But I'll move on. Soon she brought out the main course, a nice big juicy steak for each of us. As I began to cut into my steak, I was discouraged to discover how undercooked this steak was. Now, I've had my fair share of rare steak. I prefer medium, but I can handle rare. This was several minutes on a hot grill short of rare. I probably could have resuscitated the cow had I tried. Instead, I sat there fidgeting with my knife and fork, worrying about how I was going to get away with not eating this steak. I've been there so many times. It's gonna sound crazy to a lot of you. I don't like steak. I don't like the chewiness of it. It's just never been something that I really vibed with. Claim veganism? No. I'd already feigned great enthusiasm upon seeing this steak. Just then, our hostess excused herself to the kitchen to take care of some dessert preparations. As I looked across the fancy dining room table at the open window of this third-story apartment, a cartoon light appeared over my head. I knew I had to be decisive, realizing that she could return at any moment. I committed. I grabbed the steak with my hand, gently shook off the juice, and executed a perfect throw right through the center of the open window. Here's the big time FU. The window wasn't open. It was the cleanest frickin' window you've ever seen in your life. That is, until my mostly raw slab of steak slapped up against it and slowly slid down, leaving a trail of bloody juice in its wake. My wife, whose steak was a nice medium rare and was unaware of my predicament, turned, jaw dropped, and stared at me like I was an alien from another planet. Honestly, I can't blame her. This look then slowly morphed into more of a "there's no place on this planet you can ever hide from me" expression of demonic anger. My wife's boss heard the thud of the steak on window impact and came quickly. She took in the scene, the steak sitting on the windowsill, the blood trail, my empty plate, and then gave me an inquisitive, puzzled look. I just didn't know what to say. It felt like a minute of silence, but was probably 3 or 4 seconds. Finally, the best I could manage was, I'm so sorry. I'm such a klutz. I don't know. I was just cutting it and it slipped. Just ask my wife. I really am a klutz. Right, honey? No help coming from that direction. I'll clean this up. I can't believe this. I'm so sorry. Etc., etc. Both women continued to stare at me like I had escaped from the loony bin as I smeared the blood around the window with my cloth napkin, dusted the steak, and continued to mutter my incoherent explanation. I knew no one was buying this story. I knew what I had to do. I sheepishly returned to my seat and proceeded to eat every bite of that disgusting, cold, chewy, bloody raw steak. I remained pretty quiet for the rest of the evening. My wife's only 2 words to me since the incident are, "I'm fine." TLDR, tried to sneakily throw my undercooked steak through an open window, only to find out it wasn't open. Dude. Oh my god. I cannot judge him too hard because this is definitely something that I unfortunately would do. Oh my god, you gotta check. You gotta check before you sling a steak out a window. Please, man.